Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. This week I've got some repairs to do to the Patrol, which includes fixing that oil seal that's gone in the front end. So we've got the car started there, ready to go. We've also got some upgrades that we're going to do to the Patrol, some dropout cones in the rear with some 3-inch springs, thanks to Mitch for giving us those, and we're going to put the coil retainers back in the back. Anyway guys, let's get into it. We'll get this oil seal fixed first, and then we can start on the suspension upgrades. So I just like to loosen all the nuts while there's still weight on the front end. So we can loosen the wheel nuts, and then I'll loosen off the freewheel and hub nuts as well. So after I took the brake caliper off, I gave it a quick little clean. I need to get some more brake cleaner, so I just degreased it for now. Get the grime off it, and we have oil coming out. Whip the hub off, which we loosened up earlier. By the way, I am no professional at this. If you're looking for a professional, go and see a mechanic. I'm just giving it a go. Now the GUs have this ring on here with a little circlip. You just got to pop him off with a pair of circuit pliers, or you can do it with screwdrivers and stuff. It's just a bit more difficult, but it can be done. A couple little screws that hold it in place, and when I say little, they are very little. They just hold the lock ring in place so it doesn't loosen. From there, with the GUs, you have this special tool that you use to undo the tensioning nut. Now there is the tensioner. You can see it's got the 2 big holes for the tool and 4 screw holes. So it gives you an option when you're rotating, you can line it up and get 2 of those spots. That's the hub off. We'll repack all those bearings before we put it back. There, just a 10mm. These little 3 nuts. So I just got paintbrush and some petrol. Just give this a bit of a clean up. 10mm down, that'll be a 14, I'm guessing. Yep. So I'm just undoing one of the bolts on the kingpin, bottom back one. Hopefully the excess oil that's sitting down in here will just drop out that hole then, once that bolt. Oh. There we go. All that work to replace one little seal. Let's get this other one out anyway. Other than the little hammering to pop it out, Looks fine, but it leaks. Go figure. Get in there. Might undo all this bottom one because it would have filled up with oil, and then we can repack them. The way I get the seal in is I put a little bit of grease around the edge of it just to help ease it in there, and also put some on the inside as well. Now I get as big a socket as I can to go on the back of it and try and line it up. Oh, it snapped off axle. I'll try that. Use it as a drift. Going in slowly. So we just used the old axle as a drift and just tapped it round and round and round until we tapped it all the way in. So it's flush with that little spot that it sits on in there now. I'm going to add a little bit more grease on the actual seal. Oh, sorry guys, you missed half of the put back together. I couldn't find my spare wheel bearing seal for the back of the hub, so I've just packed as much grease in there as I could and then repacked the grease into the front wheel bearing. Planning on pulling them both out when I get a new seal, pull it all apart again and repack those bearings. So sorry about that, but we've put it all back together up until just going to make sure the wheel bearings are tight enough, and then we'll put the hub on. After I do all these up, I normally drop it down onto the ground and then tighten it all up again just while it's got that pressure on it. That's pretty much what I do. I'm no expert. Let us know if you've got any better ideas in the comments. If you've been following the channel, you'll know I destroyed the coil spacers. So we got rid of them. We got some little bit longer coils to stick in the back end. Some dropout cones just to help relocate the coils when they do drop out. And we're going to stick the coil retainers back on as well. So let's get into it. I've got the high lift jack on the body. Jacked up the rear diff, drop the tyre off and stick it up under there for a bit of safety. And then we can lower the rear diff down low enough, hopefully to get that coil off. So I just took the rear shock off just to give it a little bit more stretch. I've got some old 4-inch shocks in here which probably should be replaced, but you get that. And I'm just undoing the coil retainer. The bolt goes up through the bottom of the spring perch and just bolts down this little plate. So now we've got the dropout cones, goes that way up and it bolts into this little plate. So you've got to get the little plate up on top and then we've got to bolt that up. Just a disclaimer, I've never done this before, but I'm going to try just putting them together with a little bit of a thread and then slip it up. And that don't work. Well, that's the dropout cone in place, tight as I can get it. Let's move on and see if we can get this spring in. That's the spring in. So there's very little room to get your hand up underneath this plate. So I just use the magnet to pull the bolt through, and then I can get my finger underneath it and just squeeze my hand through there, and squeeze the hand through the spring to do it up just a little bit. And there's one side done. Coil retainer is in, dropout cone is up. Let's whack this wheel back on, drop it back down level and see what we got. There she is. Not much higher, I don't think, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Well, there you go, guys. New springs in the back end, and dropout cones are put in as well as the coil retainers put back in. And we even rotated all the tyres, so ready to rock and roll. What's next on the agenda? Oh well, got a few more little things coming, so we'll have to put them in too. Well, that wraps it up, guys. Thanks heaps for watching, and we'll see you next week as we install the Superflex arms.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go.